Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review for Sistas. Yeah, I think I missed a whole episode and just really did not notice or pay any attention or really care. As long as these conversations be dragging out, it's just like we could just pick up with this episode. No need to backtrack. I didn't put on no earrings, honey. So this episode, season 8, episode 9. Can I enlarge this one? Cause it's a little hard. I usually be sitting a little closer. Select all. Format. I can't make it no bigger. This is ableist. What if I need larger font? Okay, we'll make it work. I figured out for the next one. Okay. Sistas, season 8, episode 9. Jordan is in the car with Penelope. They're having this, brother sister banter back and forth about everything that is going on. He says to her, Penelope, what are you doing here at this hospital? Penelope, what are you doing here? You're here to finish the job? I found you covered in his blood. He's like, it makes sense, but just let me know. I'm your brother. She lets Jordan know that she's been blacking out and not remembering things. This has been happening since after she lost the baby. Takes her way too long to say that she's been to a therapist because she was dealing with some postpartum after losing the baby. I guess she couldn't even call it postpartum, but she was dealing with some depression after losing the baby, and the doctor put her on some antidepressants, so that's what's been causing the blackouts. So I'm like, all right, that was such a roundabout way of getting there. She starts grunting. What am I gonna do now? I was like, y'all see wait till exhale. That's what it made me feel like when she started growling in that daggone car. And Jordan was like, look at me. Do you trust me? I got you, sis. So we see Fatima at the apartment. Andy is there, and she's telling her that she got slapped. Penelope came in here and slapped me. Fatima said, oh, that's what happened at the end of the episode. Okay, girl, get up. I'm gonna teach you how to fight. Andy was like, why your arms way up here? Wrist all weakish. It was just looking goofy to the mug. But they are in there, and she, Fatima in there, grabbing her knee and everything. You got it? Yeah, I think I got it. So as Fatima is leaving, Andy gets a call. This is like towards the end of the episode. As Fatima is leaving, Andy gets a call from Jordan asking if him and Penelope can come over. I don't even know if I finished writing the notes on here, but I'm gonna just finish them on off. When they get to Andy's house, they ask Andy, Jordan asks Andy to represent Penelope. And she's like, how I'm gonna represent her? He's like, they called her down to the station. They want to question her. I want you to represent her to make sure they don't get her in no mess. She's like, I'm a suspect too, so that won't make any sense. And plus, like, Penelope, like, she ain't messing with me. Like, what is wrong with you? Penelope's like, yeah, this is his idea. This is his right idea. I don't have anything to do with this. And Andy's like, plus I'm a divorce lawyer. I don't handle criminal cases. Like, but she's like, I could call somebody, but Penelope don't want Andy help. But Jordan is like, girl, we ain't got no options, okay? So Hayden, we see him leaving the gym. He's talking to, I guess, like a little workout friend, and they're just having a little regular banter back and forth. We see Zach is around the building stalking, trying to get some information. He hears Hayden saying that he saw a video of Gary and Tamara getting it on, okay? So after Zach gets this little bit of info, he gets in the car and drives off. While he's driving off, Hayden is saying to the guy, because the guy's like, what? You saw him messing with your girl? He was like, it wasn't in person, it was a video. What? And this and that. He's like, well, I ain't do nothing to him because he already in the hospital. And Hayden is acting like he handled it. So I'm like, okay. And speaking of Hayden, we see Tamara go up to the hospital to see Gary. And Hunter is there, so he ain't letting nobody see Gary. And they they let her know because he's like, I need, this is private information. He's telling the doctor, this is private information, she don't need to be hearing this. They just step over to the side. They don't go into a specific room. They don't go into like a little cubby to talk or nothing. They just step like 2 steps to the left and have the conversation. So Tamara butts in and she's like, oh, so he doesn't remember anything, so he wouldn't remember me, and they're like, no, probably not. Oh, he wouldn't remember me? He wouldn't remember like anything about me? He wouldn't remember anything about like who stabbed him? Nothing? And it's like, a way to make yourself look guilty, sis. Like, get out of here, girl. So she ends up leaving, and as she's leaving, Hunter's like, oh, I thought you wanted to see him. And I can't even remember what she said, because I dang near didn't even remember this scene. I didn't even write it down. I'm just remembering it right now. But like I said, Hayden cracked me up because he was flexing like he put the man in the hospital. So we truly don't know who, is responsible for stab night at this point, because Penelope think that she might have done it to where she be blacking out. So Penelope could have been in there after he got stabbed and been like, oh my God, what happened? Who did this? She could have been touching him and not necessarily been the one that did the stabbing. So we don't know. It's not as automatically just, oh, it's Penelope because she be blacking out and she had reason. A bunch of people had reason. And the way that Hayden was about to run off after everything first happened, it still had me like, you did this, or you seen who did it. You was about to do it, or somebody beat you to it type deal. You know what I mean? So we still don't know who did it. We see Sabrina. She's anxious. She is checking her fertility results, trying to see about Rich's sperm, and they're not ready yet. Maurice is lingering around the corner while she's having this conversation in her office, and he's like, oh, so I guess we're not gonna have any summer jam on the beach this year for us. No hot girl summer next year. She's like, I don't plan to be pregnant next summer, but boy, when the last time you done been to summer jam? And he's just, gets real with her and says he is over all of this egg talk, all of this fertility talk. It has really consumed Sabrina's life. She really don't talk about nothing but her friends and her fertility. And I'm like, girl, there has to be something else. How is Rich doing? Housework. It's just more to life. But Maurice, he can always overdo it. What did little fool say? He said something that cracked me up. You got deviled eggs. I want brunch, not eggs. But she ends up telling him, be a little more sensitive, like don't be such a butthole about it. And he's like, okay, you're right. And she suggests that they go on a double date because she does realize, like, yeah, I probably don't talk about nothing but this. So let's go on a double date. Our boos can meet each other and we can meet each other's boos and, just have a good little time. Their double date ended up being real cute. Being real cute because Grayson is a guy's guy. So he was talking sports with Rich, and Maurice was getting annoyed with that. And he's like, Sabrina, I got you. We ain't got to talk about that. She's like, actually, I played basketball too. So they kind of, had a little funny little banter all around where Maurice is, being the little sassy diva that he's always going to be. Okay. I'm just not realizing I really only did half the notes for this show and then came in here and decided to start with it. But it's Tyler Perry. That much don't be happening, and I got it playing in the background. So if something pop up and I don't see it, I'm like, oh yeah, and this. So aside from their double date, we see Karen and Pam. They're talking to Aaron, and He is there right now in this capacity as investor, and he's asking him about roots to riches. She talks about how they have to get a business plan for Miss Marie. He offers to help. That's what he does at work, but she's like, oh, we already did it. Sabrina looked over it for me. It's all good, but thank you. And then one of their clients comes in, and she's like, has that lady been back here with them messed up edges? She played too much. I know she better go somewhere. She better stop playing with us. And they kind of shoo her on off, and Aaron is like, well, what is she talking about? What's happening? They let him know that somebody came in the shop saying that Rooster Rich's burnt their edges out, but they knew that the girl was trying to scam them. They saw that she had shaved her edges, and the way he was just like, he looked like he was about to slap them. He looked like he was about to call them some broke bitches. Like, I was like, is everything okay here? He is pretty upset, but he contains it in his speech. His face tells a whole nother story. But he's like, hey, as an investor, I expect to be abreast of these type of things. I shouldn't have to find them out. Like, and I agree. If I'm giving my money, I need to know the state that the company is in when anything happens. He's like, oh, I'm a partner. I'm a partner. And I'm like, now, was that what was agreed upon? Because it was giving investor. It wasn't giving partner. And Pam was like, silent partner, silent partner. He's like, as much money as I gave y'all, like, ain't no silent. And I'm like, why are you investing? Like, it's giving keep an eye on him, Karen. Like, I hate that one of these babies is by him, but I guess I'm glad they not both by Zach. But it's giving a little crazy. It's giving, a little controlling in some of his acts. Not necessarily this conversation in specifically, but yeah, definitely still keep an eye on him. I have not trusted him since we met him, and he left his wallet at home and told his estranged wife that he was still living with to come bring the wallet so that he could pay for this date with Karen. Don't forget, that's how we met Aaron, you guys. Please never forget. Yes, the one whose wife came in Karen's shop and blew her brains out right in front of Karen. So the fact that she even was messing with that man past that to even be pregnant right now, I judge you, Karen. I am a judgmental person, and I judge her for continuing to mess with him after that date. But anyway, we went down a bit of a rabbit hole, huh? I think that's all that happened at the shop. And so we see Danny at work, y'all. The little white boy at the counter next to her, he's like, congratulations. I heard you got into the leadership program. She's like, okay, thank you. He was like, yeah, I'm just shocked. I'm surprised that a person like you, they got it over me. She's like, what is a person like you supposed to mean? He's like, you're always late. You leave early. You're always cussing out the customers. She said, I cuss out coworkers too. And they go back and forth for a little while before he just flat out says that he knows that she is sleeping her way to the top. She comes over there and threatens him with a stapler, and he was like, oh, is that all you know? Sleeping with your boss and violence? Is that all you know? I said, it's giving macro aggression. It's giving racism, okay? Then Tony comes over to defuse the situation, and he sits the dudes down, and he's just like, oh, talk to your girlfriend first. Talk to your girlfriend first. And Tony's like, what you say? I'm still your boss. Do you want a new job? Do you want to be fired? And so he pipes down a bit, and then but he still was like, your girlfriend, a few more times before he piped down. At this point, the guy goes off. I think he sent them home for the day or something. I can't remember. But the guy walks on off, and he walks over to Danny as if they didn't just get accused of being with each other. And he doesn't even attempt to reprimand her in the same fashion that he just did the other guy. He's just like, hey, Danny, we're gonna have to, people are on to us. We're gonna have to keep it cool at work. And she's like, okay, you'll be one doing the most anyway. He was like, you the one that came in my office with no clothes on up under that coat. She's like, you the one that dropped your paper and was up between my legs. Like, they be doing the absolute most for them to be at work, especially for work to be an airport. There are always people around. Somebody's gonna always see you. So they be doing the most. It be getting on my nerves because it's just not realistic. Like, it's just really not. Oh, Jesus, hold on. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. I be forgetting to put my DNZ on, and I don't be wanting nobody to call or nothing to happen and then make the video stop. And I gotta freeze them because I don't want to freeze them. So where was I? Yeah, they just have a whole little clearly personal conversation, and he's just like, Danny, we need to, take it easy, and people are on to us. She's just like, you ain't gonna be able to hold. You the one that be. It said I can't even fast forward. She's like, you the one that be doing the most, be wanting all of this. Basically, you be wanting all of this, and he's just like, okay, girl, whatever. I'm gonna, be strong. Gary, we see Gary is up in the hospital. Hudson is talking to him. Hudson is like, yeah, that was a good act. It's a good act. You can drop the act now. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. You can drop the act. Gary's like, what act? Who are you? Gary done got his short-term memory loss. So he probably ain't got, it seem like he ain't got no memories maybe the last 6 months. In Tyler Perry land, we 8 seasons in, it's probably been 2 years. These 8 seasons have probably been 2 years, y'all. It's like they be trying to slow it down, but it'll be some little stuff where it's like, it's the timeline don't be making no sense. But it's probably been 2 years in these 8 seasons. So Gary probably lost a year, maybe 6 months, because we haven't been seeing Hudson that long. So Hudson is probably 6 months worth of relationships, because he don't remember Hudson. He does not. Well, we haven't seen him see Tamara to know if he knows her, but he sees Andy and he responds to Andy as if this is his person. So he did not remember Penelope. So maybe it was a year then if he couldn't remember Penelope, because Penelope, that had to have been a year-long relationship, because she was almost 9 months pregnant and they had to have some time before that to actually be together at some point. So had to have been a year worth of memories if he didn't even remember Penelope, which is nuts. But we don't know if Gary actually has memory loss or if he is playing the people, okay? At some point, Hudson goes in there to see Gary, and Gary's bed is empty. So he goes over to another side of the hospital and he's like, oh, where's Gary? Do y'all have him in here for testing? Yada, yada, yada. They're like, we ain't got nobody with that name getting no type of test over here today. So Hudson kind of freaking out a bit, and we can't find Gary, y'all. We're trying to figure out where Gary at. I'm fast forward, making sure I ain't missed nothing. And at the end of the episode, we hear Andy's elevator ding. I can't remember if Penelope and Jordan were still there or not. They may have left by then. But we hear the elevator beep, and we just see hospital gown and booty. I said, what is happening? It's Gary, y'all. He in the elevator like, and then he turns around and she's like, Gary, like, what are you doing here, dude? Like, what, you fresh out the hospital bed, didn't get discharged, no type of, paperwork, medications, nothing, just out here. We saw at the firm, Robin had talked to Hayden. He let him know, like, hey, you out here telling the clients that Andy's never going to be back and you're permanently taking over her positions. He was like, oh, it was a joke. It was just a prank. It was just a prank. And he was like, well, in order for it to be a joke or a prank, Andy would need to be here and be present and know about this. So It's not a joke. It's not a prank. Which was so crazy of me. Like, Hayden be doing the absolute most. It's not even like you got picked to be partner. If you got picked to be partner, it might be a little different with you, trying to flex on people and stuff. But you didn't even get picked to be partner. So for you to take the luxury to tell her clients that just because you're temporarily in charge of them because of some things, some personal things she got going on, you gonna tell them, yeah, I'm taking over you for good. She gone. She ain't here no more. Boy, you already on thin ice. Robin told you already on thin ice. And Miss Marie already told you that she is the reason that you're there. Okay? Because she liked to play with you just a little bit. So the fact that he really be trying to act like he's that dude in the office, I'd be like, Hayden, sit down somewhere. At the shop, like I said, Aaron was there to talk business, but then of course he checks on Karen, and the babies are kicking, so she has him to fill her stomach so that he can feel the baby kicking as well. Of course, in true Tyler Perry hood rat fashion, Zach is on his way over there as well. We saw him on the phone with Fatima. She's like, I'll tell you what happened at work when we get home. And he's like, okay, cool. I got a question. I'm not too far from Karen's shop. Can I go check on the babies? She's like, yeah, of course you can. That's so sweet of you. I trust you and I trust Karen a little bit. And so he goes over there. And of course he walks in as Aaron. It has his hands on the babies. So it's looking like, okay, is this going to be a little turmoil? Is this about to be a little friction, a little fight just for the sake of it? Because it's looking like that's what it's about to be next episode, which I'm like, for what? You get the right side, you get the left side. Y'all feel these babies kick together. Y'all are all in this together. Once we see, make our dreams come true. They all in this together. Like, as ghetto as it is, they are co-baby daddies, okay? They are going to have each other in a group chat to arrange the pickup and drop off of these babies, because they're both going to be present fathers. So them kids are going to, God willing they ever make it to this side, because Karen has been pregnant. That's how you know that the start of this series ain't that far, because Karen has been pregnant for like half the series. Karen has been pregnant half the series. So it's probably just 1 year. It's probably not even a full 2 years. It's probably just been 1 year. This whole seasons 1 through 8. I'm tired, Tyler. We tired. Karen is tired. Them babies is tired. Okay? Gary is tired. Okay? If she don't have them babies this season, next week is supposed to be a 2-hour. I said, is this the finale? It's supposed to be a 2-hour night for next week. Or maybe they're making up because, wait, next week is Christmas though, right? It's Christmas next week, or am I tripping? Yeah, Christmas not next week. So maybe they're making up for Christmas, because they're probably not going to drop on Christmas Day, because that's a Wednesday. So maybe that's why we get 2 hours next week. But we're supposed to get 2 hours. If Karen don't have these babies, if we don't find out who is responsible for Stab Night, I know something. Okay, Tyler? I'm going to write you the most meanest We Hate Tyler Perry Studios production time schedule letter ever, okay? We better get some type of resolution in next week's episodes, okay? Until next time, y'all, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment, let me know what y'all thought about the episode and who y'all think is responsible for Stab Night, okay? Penelope gives the obvious answer, especially since she's having the blackouts and stuff like that. But I truly wouldn't be surprised if it was Hayden or Wildcard Miss Marie had somebody do it. But yeah, y'all, maybe that's what she had Hayden do. Maybe that's her little you owe me for Hayden. But yeah, we shall see soon, I hope. Until next time, bye.